everyone. Welcome to Pratibha Virtual Classes. Today we will learn about the C++ arrays. This is the part 2. In this video we will learn about the different types of array. In this we will learn in detail about the two-dimensional arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, and how to initialize two-dimensional arrays, and what is the three-dimensional array, and different examples related to the two-dimensional or multi-dimensional arrays, and how to pass the arrays as parameters and passing array to the functions. All these topics learn in detail in this video. Okay, array is the collection of homogeneous elements. Okay, and array can also be defined as the collection of similar data elements. And array is the fixed sized sequenced collection of elements. Generally, these arrays are used to represent the list of numbers, names, marks, etc. And arrays can be used to represent not only simple lists of values but also tables of data in two or more dimensions by using the multi-dimensional arrays. Array consists of contiguous memory locations, and lowest address corresponds to the first element and the highest address corresponds to the last element. The idea of an array is to represent many instances of one variable. Types of arrays. Based on the number of dimensions, arrays are classified into three. One-dimensional array, also known as the single dimensional array or 1D array. Two-dimensional array, that is also known as the double dimensional array or 2D array. And another is the multi-dimensional array or ND array. Okay, arrays can be classified into one dimension, two dimensional and multi-dimensional arrays. Two-dimensional arrays. A two-dimensional array can be considered as table which consists rows and columns. That means we can define the array with the two dimensions, so we call this as the two-dimensional array. And each element in two-dimensional array is referred with the help of two indexes. And first index indicates the row and second indicates the column. Okay, and these are useful for representing board games, matrices such as chess, tic-tac-toes and Scrabble, etc. Okay, we can declare the two-dimensional array by using the syntax data type space and name of the array and two indexes in the square brackets. First index indicates the rows and second index indicates the column. Okay, for example, int is the integer data type, arr is the array name, and it is the 3 rows and 4 columns. And we can initialize or assign the values to the two-dimensional like this by using these flower brackets, and every row can be differentiated by using the flower bracket. This is the first row and this is the second row and this is the third row. Okay, and for every row it consists the 4 columns. So we are defined the 4 numbers in this array. And multi-dimensional arrays. Multi-dimensionals, multiple dimensions. It is considered as arrays of arrays. Means it can be described as arrays of arrays. For example, a bidirectional array can be imagined as a two-dimensional table made of elements, and all of them hold same type of elements. Okay, the general form of multi-dimensional array is data type, any valid C++ data type, and name of the array, and size 1, size 2 up to n, size n we can specify as the dimensions. Depends on the dimensions. If we specify the 2 dimension, it is called the 2-dimensional array. If we specify 3 dimensions, it is called the 3-dimensional array. Okay, this represents the bidimensional array of 3 per 5 elements, means 3 rows 5 columns. Okay, a two-dimensional array can be think as a table, which is the commonly used multi-dimensional array. Okay, this is the 3 rows and 5 columns. Always the array's indexes starts with 0. So 5 columns is 0 to 4. 3 rows means 0 to 2. This is the declaration of the two-dimensional array: data type and array name and two indexes. Initializing the two-dimensional array. To initialize the two-dimensional array, we have many ways. The way to initialize is for this initializing the values to the array, we can use the bracketed values for each row. Okay, for example, here we declared a of 3 and 4, means 3 rows 4 column, which consist all integer type elements. For every row we can be specified the brackets. Okay, this is for first row, this is for second row, and this is the third row. And for every row it consists 4 elements, so we are declaring this is for first row index, it is the 0 row, and this is the row 1, and this is the row 2. Okay, and we can also initialize by like this. Okay, these nested braces are optional. Okay, we can also same array can be initialized by using same elements like this also. Okay, here the first 4 elements we are declared the 4 columns, so first 4 elements belongs to the first row, and next 4 elements belongs to the third row, and last 4 elements belongs to the third row. Okay, and element in the two-dimensional array is accessed by using subscripts, row index and column index of the array. For example, if you want to assign the 4th element from the third row, 2 means 2 plus 1 third row, 3 means 3 plus 1 fourth column, third row 4th column. The value in the third row 4th column, that is the 11, can be assigned to the val variable, which is also the integer variable. Okay, this is the example of using the two-dimensional array. Okay, here we declared array with 5 rows 2 columns. For every column it can consist 2 numbers and 5 rows, so we are individualized by 5 different braces, and array elements can be accessed by using the for loops. Here we are specified the 2 dimensions. For every dimension index we need to use one for loop. Here we have 2 indexes, so we have to use the 2 for loops. I is here loop variable and j is this I indicates the number of rows, that is the 5, so 0 to 5. Okay, less than 5, 5 minus 1 up to 4, and j indicates the column 0 to 2. Okay, it is displaying what we are assigned to the these rows and columns, the values are displayed like this. Okay, and this is the another example which takes the input from the user. Okay, here we are reading the values from the keyboard. Here we declared the num as the array of integers which consists 2 rows 3 columns. 2 into 3 takes 6 numbers into that array. Okay, for row we are taking one for loop, and for the column we are taking the another. I and j is the indexes indicating the I rows and j columns. Okay, cin is used to access the input from the keyboard. Okay, and it is reading the values. I entered the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as its input values. It displays the numbers, are printing the array of elements. What is the array elements at 0, 0 position, 0, 1, 0, 2 positions, and after that next row, that is the 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, the numbers are displayed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a simple example of reading the elements or the values into the two-dimensional array using giving the input from the keyboard and displaying the elements. Okay, and next is the three-dimensional array. Three-dimensional means it has the 3 dimensions, means 3 indices can be declared in the declaration. Okay, to initialize the three-dimensional array, which is same as the two-dimensional, the difference is dimensions increase, so the nested braces will also be increases. Okay, for the 3 dimension we need to specify the 3 dimensions. Here we 2 into 3 into 4, that is a 12 plus 2, 40, 24. 24 values to be assigned to this array X. Okay, this is the pictorial representation of the 3 dimensions. 1 1 1, this is the row 1 and columns. Okay, and the better method to assign is the every column can be individualized by the brackets. Okay, for every row it consists of 4 elements into every set. Okay, like this we can assign the value, and the elements can be accessed is also similar to the two dimensional array. The difference is we have to use the 3 loops. For every index we need to use the 1 loop. Here we are having the 3 dimensions, so we need to use the 3 loops for every for 3 indices we have to use the 3 loops. And example of the 3 dimensional array. Okay, this is the program which is the 3 dimensional array displaying the values of it. Here we declared test as the array name, and which takes the integer. It is the 2 3 2 as its indices. Okay, for last is the column, so 2 columns. For every set it has the 2 numbers. Okay, 2 into 3 6, 6 into 2 12, 12 elements to be set into the every set. Okay, these are the values which are assigned into the variable, and displaying for every index we need to use 1 loop. For I, j, k we are used. Okay, it is displaying the what we are assigned to the array of the 3 dimensions. And this is the example of adding 2 matrices using the multi-dimensional array. Okay, here we declare the A, B and the sum as the 3 matrices of the 2 dimensional whose rows, number of rows and columns are 100, 100. Up to 100 we can give. And this R is for number of rows, C is for number of columns. First we have to read the how many number of rows you want to give, and how many number of columns that is to be assigned into the variable C. Okay, and entering the elements into the first matrix. Okay, and that is the A of R comma C. Okay, A of ij. I is the R rows and j is also C columns. Okay, and entering the elements into the second matrix, that is the B. Here we are reading the 2. Here we are given the R as the 2 and C as the 2. 2 into 2, 4 elements into the matrix A and 4 elements into the matrix B. Here we are summing the 2 matrices. Okay, we are 2 indices, so we need to use the 2 for loops. Sum of ij is the matrix which is used to store the values of the summing of A and B matrices, and this is the adding purpose, and these statements are used to display the output. And here we are entered the 4 values, 2 cross 2 matrix A for the A, which is the 2 cross 2 matrix. B is also the 2 cross for the A matrix. We are entered the 4 values and different 4 values for the B matrix, and after the summation of these 2 matrices the result is displayed like this. Okay, this is example of the adding 2 matrices. Like this we can do the multiplication of matrices. Okay, and transpose of matrix like that. And next is the transpose of the matrix. Transpose means changing the rows into columns. Okay, here we declare the variable A, which can take up to 10 rows and 10 columns, and another matrix, that is the transpose, and it is the 10 and row and columns. For rows and columns, ij are for the looping variables. Okay, enter the rows and columns of the matrix. Okay, how many rows and how many columns you need for the matrix. Okay, here we enter 2 and 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. 2 into 3, 6 elements to be entered into the matrix. Enter the elements of the matrix. Okay, up to I and j are taken as the looping variables. Up to 2 rows and 3 columns, it takes the input from the keyboard. And printing the matrix. First it displays the matrix. Okay, and computing the transpose of the matrix. This program is to transpose the matrix. Transposing means rows change into columns, columns change into rows. Okay, for that transpose of j and I. Okay, the column is the j and the row is the I. Okay, and row is assigned with this j is the column. Okay, j is the column. For the column we are assigned the rows of the A, and for the row we are assigning the column of the A. Okay, and after changing that, the matrix is displayed like this is the actual matrix, and after the transposition of the matrix it is displayed by using this statement like this. Okay, this is the example of the transpose of the matrix. And next is the we can pass the arrays as the parameters. Okay, the two-dimensional arrays can be passed as parameters to the functions, and they are passed by reference. Okay, that means the function can directly access and modify the contents of the passed array, because we are passing the array as the parameters by reference. Okay, when declaring two-dimensional array as formal parameters, we can omit the size of the first dimension, that is the row, but not the second. We have to specify the second dimension. Okay, that is the must. For example, this is the function which doesn't returns any value to the calling statement, so we are specified as the return type as the void, and the name of the function is the print, and here we are passing the integer array A. This is here we didn't know the how many rows we are passing, and columns must be the 3, and if n is for the rows and m is for the columns. To pass, in order to pass to this function, an array is declared as the int arr 4, 3 columns, and we can pass up to 4. Okay, and we have to call this function like print arr. Okay, we are passing, it calls this. Okay, this is example. Okay, here we print a of n comma 3, r is equal to 0 and r less than up to n. Okay, the number of rows, this is columns, and we are displaying. Okay, here we are assigned the values. Okay, we are passing arr 4, 3, 4 rows and 3 columns. No need to specify the indexes when we are passing the array, and return there. It calls this and displays the matrix elements. Like this we can pass the array as the parameters. And this is the example. This is the print array. Here we are passing the single dimensional array. Okay, arg, and it has the only one dimension, so we need to pass the only one. For the two dimensional we need to pass two elements for the row and column. Here we have the passing the single dimension, so we have to pass that length. For int n is equal 0 to n length, n up to length, and it is displaying. Okay, here we are displayed the f array. First array 3 elements. Okay, its size becomes 3. Second array we are assigned the 5 values, so its size becomes 5. Print f of array 3. It cards this manner, length becomes the 3, up to length it displays 5, 10, 15. And for the second array also calls the same function. It passes 5 elements. Length becomes the 5, it displays the 5 elements what we are assigned. Like this we can pass the array as the parameter to the function. Either it may be the single dimensional or multi-dimensional. And next is the passing array to the function. We can pass the array to the function. Okay, actually the function syntax is the return type and function name, data type, and array name. When we are passing the array, declaring in the function, we need to specify the array size, and this is the body of the function. For example, here its return type is the any valid C++ data type, or it may be the void, and it is a function name, and it takes the marks integer array, which is the single dimension or one dimension array. Okay, when we are passing array to the function as the parameter, no need to pass the entire block of memory represented by an array to a function directly as an array, but we can pass its address. Okay, no need to pass or pass the entire block of memory represented by an array to the function. Just we can pass its address. For example, void is the return type, procedure is the function name. Here we are passing just array reference int arg, and this function accepts a parameter of type array of int called arg. In order to pass to this function, an array can be declared as int my array, and dimension may be the any size, that is here we declare the 40, and it must be the integer, and this can be called like procedure, and we have to pass the reference my array like this. It calls this. Okay, this can be passed as the function. Okay, this is the passing the one dimensional array to the function. Okay, the program to display marks of 5 different students. Display which is takes the m integer array whose number of marks is the 5 different marks. It displaying the marks, we are passing the marks and displaying those student marks. Okay, this is the for displaying one index, so we have to specify the one for loop. Here we declared to pass the m whose size is 5, we need to display the integer array that is to be passed as the for this function name is display and marks. It calls this function and it displays these marks. What we are assigned 88, 676, 90, 61 and 69 like this display. Okay, this is the example of the passing the single dimensional or one dimensional array to the function. Okay, as in this video we learn all these topics. Array is the collection of similar or homogeneous elements. Arrays can be categorized into based on its dimensions. Okay, that is that one dimensional array, two dimensional array, or multi-dimensional. In the two dimensional array we need to specify the two dimensions. Okay, multi-dimensional array is the any more than two or more than two can be called as the multi-dimension. If we specify the three dimensions, it becomes the three-dimensional array. Okay, if we specify the n dimensions, so it becomes the n-dimensional array. Okay, we can also initialize the two-dimensional array by assigning the values using the bracketed values. Three-dimensional array which consists the three dimensions which is similar to the two-dimensional. Declaration and initialization is also same, but to display the to accessing the members of the arrays depends on those dimensions. We need to use loops. For the one dimensional array we need to use only one for loop. For the two dimensional array we need to use the two for loops. For the three dimension you need to use the three dimensions, and we can also pass the arrays as the parameters, and we can also pass the arrays to the arrays as to the functions. Okay, and when we are passing the arrays to the functions, it becomes the we need to pass the reference, no need to pass the entire array. Okay, this is about this video. Okay, thank you one and all, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.